My quick tip of the week. Sometimes I call these quick tips, sometimes I just call them photo tips. This one is somewhat particular to the T4i, T5i cameras. How to get the best burst rate out of your camera. We're going to look at that right now. So let's look at my settings. I have it set for shooting large JPEGs in the continuous mode. And if I hold down and start shooting, you can hear that right away there was a slowdown. Let me try that again. So that is certainly far less than the advertised 5 and some odd frames per second. So how can we get closer to that? Well, here's how they did it. What we got to do is go into the menu. And on the first menu item, we have our lens aberration correction. This is where when the image gets processed, the camera looks at, the sensor, the computer, the brain of the camera, looks at what lens you are using and tries to correct for any distortion. Both vignetting, that's kind of your darkened circle around the edge of your frame, and distortion. So we're going to disable that. And chromatic aberration we've talked about before. That is kind of this purple, reddish, magenta fringing, purple, reddish, that is magenta, fringing around high contrast areas. The camera looks for that and corrects it as well. So we're going to disable that. We're going to go back to the menu. And we're going to turn red eye reduction off, especially if you're shooting landscapes. There's not much point in having that on. And now, if I take some pictures, you can see that our slowdown is gone, and we now are in much better shape for burst rate. It doesn't really affect RAW a whole lot. RAW is a little bit slower than JPEGs in the first place. You do run into that slowdown sooner. But the reason why RAWs are unaffected is because really, again, if you watch that other video, the RAW files kind of bypass the processor. It really just captures the sensor and writes it to the card. It's up to you to bring those files into your computer and then do some processing. So that's it. A real quick tip. Increase your burst rate by turning off unnecessary, I wouldn't call them unnecessary, but sometimes you don't need them. Sometimes burst rate is more important to you than your peripheral illumination and your chromatic aberration distortion, among other things. I hope that was helpful. If you have any suggestions for a quick tip you'd like or an answer that you want to see shown in one of these videos, just leave a comment down below or come over and find me on Facebook. Thanks for watching.